We're back, boys. Sorry for the wait. Took longer than expected. So, CA has released 2 hours ago Total War Warhammer 3 Improving AI in Campaign. Before we start reading, anybody watching this channel knows that there's been issues with Total War Warhammer 3 AI. It started basically in late 2023. It's been going on for nearly a year and a half. And still not fixed. So let's see what they say here about it. There, bro. So, hey, folks. Hey, folks. We're calling folks. At the tail end of last year, you saw us run a few of our hotfixes out for Warhammer 3 via the beta function on Steam. This was invaluable for our teams as we raided some necessary game updates during the rollout of Omens of Destruction. And helped us catch some last-minute feedback from you. You know, guys, I can't help it. I can't help it. It feels like we're just gonna read another politician lie type thing here, or some fairy tale. It's coming, and it's gonna be something else than when we play the game. Howdy. Howdy, hold on. What is the howdy? There it is, howdy.
Howdy. My name is Jed Masterson.
Hey, Jed.
And I'm a caravan boss for the Happy Trails Caravan Company. If you're hearing this, I have a job offer for you. Happy Trails is organizing an expedition north
How can
into
one be so
Utah
clueless
off the
about their
15.
game? It's crazy.
We're looking for caravan guards, prospectors, couriers. If you're used to humping it across the waste, straight toward trouble, we want you. If you got a pit boy, we definitely want you.
I miss Jed.
On the
I
other
miss Fort New
hand,
Vegas.
if you're a greenhorn or a city slicker spinning tales about your skills, you can kindly go hang. If we like your gumption, we'll pay you square and treat you fair. Find me, Jed Masterson, at the Northern Passage if you're interested. Luck to you.
March is approaching also, boys, and no sight of that ancillary and item rework. Ancillary and trait rework. March is approaching, by the way. What the fuck? Like 3 months is like... Are they on a holiday until like now or something? Whilst we haven't needed to pull on that lever quite so much since we got back into swing things in 2025, it has encouraged us to think about even more ways that we can involve you in some of our more complex game changes. And work closer with you all to bring some improvements to the game. Tomorrow, on February 13th, we will launch a new public beta branch for Total War Warhammer 3 via Steam. This beta will allow you to experience and provide feedback on the latest improvements to our campaign AI, where your insights and experiences will help us refine and enhance the game. How about fixing the game first before refining and enhancing? To understand what changes we are making, you'll read about all of the science of these changes from principal technical designer Radoslav Borisov down below. Looks like they got a new guy. And if you check back on this post tomorrow, you'll find detailed instructions on how to access the beta at the bottom of this post. We will run this beta for around 2 weeks initially, bringing it to a close around February the 26th. It will be running on a modified version of the live game you are already playing today. So this beta won't be used to test any additional upcoming changes to the wider game. And we'll be encouraging folks to start fresh campaigns for this test in order to check based on how our changes are performing. Tomorrow we'll be opening a new sub forum over the Total War forums to gather your feedback on the campaign AI fixes and improvements that we are looking to make, alongside a survey that will run throughout the beta that will invite you to share your feedback directly with us. We'll post that survey link in the news feed of the beta version of the game itself. But if you check back tomorrow, we'll have updated our post here so that you'll have direct access to it on your other devices, in case you're looking to complete it after spending more time with your thoughts. At the conclusion of this first beta, we'll come through all of your feedback, pour over the data our side, and come back to you to talk more about where we'll be looking to make some more improvements. If it all goes well, we are planning a second round of testing with an updated beta sometime later in the spring. Please keep in mind that this is our goal and to expect direct comms from us if this time frame has to shift. Campaign AI improvement is a big and complex topic, and our goal is to break it down into smaller pieces and address them with player feedback front of mind so we can deliver improvements that you want in a sustainable way. To those who do look to get involved, thank you in advance for your participation in this beta. Check back on this post tomorrow for all key links and info. And with that, I'll hand over to Rado. Adam Freeman, Head of Community. It feels like it seems like they get a new community guy every few months. Hi guys, alcohol is out. Oh man, I've been drinking 3 months, and probably for the best, man. I couldn't even afford drink the last 3 months. Campaign AI improvements. Hello there, I'm Radoslav Borisov, Principal Technical Designer at CA Sofia. Where were we? Radoslav Borisov, Principal Technical Designer at CA Sofia. So basically, CA has this team of devs working from Bulgaria. Sofia, if you guys don't know, is the capital city of Bulgaria. And these guys have been working on, they try to milk the Total War franchise by releasing stuff like Troy and the rest of the abominations alongside. Looks like they put these guys to work at the bigger titles. I want to address an issue you all have been vocal about: idle campaign AI. Holy shit! Let's go, boys. Let's go. This is you guys get sit down, get some popcorn. Finally, they're talking about this broken shit. It's kind of funny how that modder guys fixed this with a mod all those months ago, while we still have this shit in the game. And this is the guys, I'm not talking out of my ass, we've been testing this shit for over 200 hours. Probably more, done more tests and runs and observations than the modders and the devs combined. We have heard your feedback loud and clear, and your concerns about idle behavior are well-founded. Well-founded, You don't say. The team has been working on resolving this and are preparing to roll out a new beta branch for Total War Warhammer 3 to test some new AI fixes and improvements. Everyone has different preferences and styles when it comes to playing the game, so accessing the impact of these changes is something we cannot do without your relations and responses. Hence, advanced campaign customization, where you can set passive AI, aggressive AI, backstabbing AI in the mix, unpredictable. Make it happen. You're clueless to do this on your own anymore. You can't please everybody. Give us the tools and we'll set up the campaign we want. Mission accomplished. Oh shit, this cup is hot. Where were we? Here are 3 topics through which we are addressing the idle AI behaviors with this beta. Query system. Tweaks to how the AI responds to enemy agents. Aggression. Tweaks to AI aggression to add more nuance. Faction potential. Tweaks to faction potential with a focus on AI to AI interactions under the Shroud. Uh-huh. You don't say. When we refer to the Shroud, we are talking about the part of the campaign map you are yet to explore, which is different from Fog of War, which covers the part of the map you explore but have no line of sight in. This block will be updated with instructions how to access the new beta branch tomorrow, so you can experience these improvements. We appreciate your patience and detailed reports, which will help us pinpoint and address the issues. Keep the feedback coming by posting your thoughts in our subforum area, as we strive to continuously make the game experience better. And now some more details on the issues we have encountered and how we resolve them. Okay, let's go. Query system. During investigation of what's causing many cases of idleness, we discovered a fundamental problem with how the campaign AI detects foreign forces and how it reacts to them. There are two different mechanisms to detect foreign threats: a simple query system and an influence map that shows the extent of every force's range and strength of interaction with assets on the map. The problem we discovered and subsequently fixed for this better branch had to do with the query system. Inside the campaign AI exists a separation between assets that move and those that do not. Multiple assets include agents, armies, and navies. Several of the queries that the campaign AI uses to decide if it should use its available forces over tasks such as actively defending threatened territory were incorrectly reacting to the presence of agents. Presence of agents? What? In practice, the campaign AI was prioritizing tasks of the defense elements when enemy forces are present type, or when any hostile agent was present. To prevent similar issues in the future, we double-checked all queries function as expected, made sure all queries check mobile asset types, and improved testing process to account for similar fundamental assumptions being wrong. How this affect you in-game means the AI control faction will no longer immediately assume a defensive posture and concentrate forces near its elements whenever any hostile agent ventures in their territory. This should enable AI factions to use the resources and previously went to defensive responses for other purposes in raiding enemy territories and constantly forced to break through the defensive position. What the fuck are they talking about? I feel like they're just talking out their ass about this. I have not noticed a problem with this. There's a different problem at work here. You guys know that we have run tests, right? Just look at this copious amount of enemy agents. This is the same test as in the last big change campaign, turn 44. This guy's been AFK for 20 turns. Look at all these enemy agents around. This is probably the worst offender. This has been like this for... Skarsnik has destroyed High King and they went AFK for 30 turns. You see any agents on the screen? For 30 turns they did nothing, just awaiting their settlements. Same here. And this is usually after the first 20 turns of the campaign. Something breaks and they just do nothing. And if they're in a war, they don't make any decisive movements. Meanwhile, in the mod version of the game that we are using, over 9 out of 10 times, I would say, very decisive. Almost player level effectiveness in that regard. The only time they struggle when they have to deal with multiple forces of the player. Meanwhile, this is their game right now. Okay, so whatever this is, either we don't really understand what this means, or they're talking about something they don't understand what is happening in the game. But the AI literally goes AFK without any plan of expansion. After the initial stage of the game, they usually deal with their neighbor or two and they stop moving. This is just nonsense here. This is just nonsense. Hopefully, whatever they've written here will have effect on this, this, and this, which is pretty much, yeah. Aggression. I worry about these people if they have one or two experienced players giving input. You know, a massive game like this needs one or two players that is really experienced with the game, who has dedicated thousands of hours of their life to the game, who has paid attention, who has played numerous campaigns on every version of the game. They really need input from people like this, and not just from one person, because the opinion could be biased, but from like 2 or 3 people, which they can gather feedback from these people and combine notes to come up to their decision, because they're clearly clueless to provide this such of in-depth experience and knowledge about their own game, and they don't even do this with the community outside. 1 or 2 people probably would not be enough. Like 3 people would probably be minimal for this, because one person could get biased and it could provide the wrong type of input. But if they get input from 3 people saying the same thing, then it's clearly something wrong. And this has to be somebody who actually plays their game for hundreds of hours on a monthly basis. And they have plenty of people like this. There are hundreds of people like this in the world. They don't even have to be content creators. But ideally, the content creators spend the most time, since they are the most invested in the game to do well. The game development literally can never be great anymore, considering how big the games are getting and how little devs want to do, minimal effort, maximum profits, without the feedback and the combined effort to make things better from the community. You can no longer make a great game without the help of the community. Let's see what it says for the aggression here. Over the course of reading and investigating community feedback, the team decided we need to revisit how some of the campaign AI top-level strategic decisions are made. We identified a component for desired attitudes as a good starting point. Desired attitudes component basically tells the campaign AI how aggressive it should be towards the rival factions. Another simplified way of thinking about is the AI thinking. Do I want to be friends with X or do I want to fight X? Our goals here are to promote more conflict between AI factions through AI decision making when it comes to desired attitudes. The AI aggression has been completely fucked and destroyed beyond the initial setup of the campaign, which is the first up to 30 turns, since they messed up with the player focus and messed up with the distance engagements. They overdone this, went from one side of the spectrum to another side of the spectrum, and from sometimes aggressive to over-aggressive AI, especially against the player, to something completely pacified at a distance. And ever since they started messing up with the player focus, they fucked up this completely. The mid and the late game, unless you're a really slow player, have literally don't even exist. And such a thing is unacceptable on a higher difficulty. We're testing AI aggression fix in 2 areas for this beta. Desired attitude decision making improvement. We have tweaked how the AI assesses the strength of rival faction, measures how close their armies are, and thus how much of the threat they pose. Negative multipliers for unknown factions. Factions that AI is neither at war with nor aware of through alliances, or diplomatic relations, etc. We've tweaked those to make desired attitudes for unknown factions strength negatively and send them more warring between AI factions. Well, hopefully we get to see them expand more and create more military, like how it should be. Well, there is the spaghetti code for the fragments, and there is the something we started calling the under bolognese. This is basically the part of the game that is working without making any sense how the values are assigned. So you have a spaghetti code and under bolognese, and some stuff in the game is happening without any explanation why is it happening like that. And not only the modders and the game players are puzzled, but probably developers as well. How will this affect you in game? It means the AI will be more nuanced when choosing how aggressive to be towards known factions instead of the befriend, ignore, or fight behavior it currently exhibits. This should add some more shades of grey and lead to more varied interactions between you and the AI neighbors. On the other hand, AI factions across the map will be more belligerent towards each other from the start, which should help more campaigns, make campaigns more dynamic and varied for across multiple playthroughs. Yeah, this is what we want. We want more outcomes and not always similar outcomes with this shit.
The Asa need me.
Okay, faction potential. We've been playing a lot with faction potential since we started using mods, and we came to almost completely understand what this does for the game. A cornerstone of the campaign AI behavior is the faction potential system. Every faction in the game gets assigned a numeric potential value. This is a problem because the one who assigns this value is the creative assembly. And they're not really the one that should be assigning this. They should probably create a base system, and they should put this entire system under campaign customization so we can interact with the system. Make it more unpredictable or make it one-sided depending who we choose. And there's a mod that does this. It should be part of the main game. Because CA is not the good... there are developers in this game, they made this game, but they don't really know about this game. Sad to say, they're completely hopeless when it comes to balancing this game past the game. And they should offer us tools in the campaign customization where we adjust this beyond their basic setup.
Our cause is noble.
Say potential value varies between campaigns and difficulty levels, and it's incredibly important to how the AI performs. I will not go into details on the exact way faction potential works today, but it's something we could spotlight in the future. This is a really important part to how the Mortal Empires work. A really important part. It can make literally decide if the Lizardmen are dominating or the Dwarves are dominating, for example. Or if Lizardmen never really dominate and the Dwarves dominate all the time. And depending on what update of the game is and how they set it, it usually tends to favor some factions for the current set of the game and not the others. And when the others do well, it's usually just some kind of freak accident or player intervention. So this is important that we have options to customize this, to make things more unpredictable and create more outcomes in the campaign and more stakes to the game as the campaign progresses into mid-game and the late game. One part of the faction potential is how the AI factions interact with each other when under Shroud. Our goals here are to promote more interactions between AI factions, or to allow major factions more opportunity to organically grow and become stronger. Yeah, that's all good, all good. We made 5 tweaks to the faction potential for this beta. A slight increase of major AI strength versus minor AI factions. We might have added another modifier or just given all the major factions higher potential. We have to see what Sleep is saying about these new values. Slight increase of faction potential weight in outer result calculations. This could be also around how the major AI factions deal with minor AI factions, so another factor to improve major factions' dominance over the minor factions. Lower the minimum faction potential minor factions can have. So basically, it already shows this was a state of the game back in Warhammer 2 that got shifted quite a bit. Is where the major factions were completely dominant over the minor factions, and then they just turned a little bit towards minor factions having some balance around the major factions. While I think there should be a randomization depending how the campaign gets rolled. In some campaigns, a major faction have an advantage, and in some campaigns, minor factions should be more balanced towards major factions. This should be more on the unpredictable side of things, but in big picture, a major faction should always have advantage over a minor faction, The only time minor faction will have advantage of the major faction is in the early stage of the game, before a major faction has leveled up their legendary lord, what means they have access to less stuff, because the generic lords have wicked balance of power, and as the major faction levels up their legendary lords, it unlocks the Regiment's Renown system, which completely shifts the balance of power of factions, or how the factions develop further, and it can just make some factions overperform and some factions underperform. For example, Voice of Chaos faction can have a couple of lucky battles, and they unlock initial Regiment's Renown earlier, and because of this, if they are aggressive, they can expand way faster, unlock more armies faster, more Regiments Renown faster, and stomp everybody around them faster. It's important because major factions have access to Legend Lords and have access to Regiments Renown, and Regiments Renown are a big balance issues. Not just because of the player has access to them, but also the AI, and this is basically how can determine how the factions can develop, especially if those factions are successful early on. But minor factions tend to have no chance against any faction that has access to Regiments Renown, just because the Regiments Renown are a massive power spike. The biggest power spike in the early game is the greenskin VA mobs. When the greens call a VA, that's the biggest power spike in the early game. That's greenskin's domination period. And after this, the biggest major spike is power spike is whoever gets access to their Regiment's Renown first, and who levels up their Legend Lord faster. After this initial power spike is who will create better buffers and who will have less enemies. Because the factions have more buffers, and fighting in one direction will always be more successful. This is why the Order factions tend to dominate more, because the Order factions have to fight the evil factions for a while before the evil factions will ally among each other, unlike the Order factions allying earlier without even having such conflicts. So this is basically what was already being, they're just reverting what was back in the Warhammer 2. Basically, what was in Warhammer 2, that just makes changing the state of the game again for, different. Moderately increase the maximum faction potential bonus for air faction under the Shroud. This allows high potential factions to defeat and conquer low potential faction faster. This is all good stuff. Because the factions expand way too slow on higher difficulty in vanilla. That is, I think, main issue with vanilla. And the main issue with this is because they're passive and not aggressive. And it's a natural thing, as you increase difficulty, that aggression should be higher. They have more resources, they should expand faster. The late game should come earlier. It's just a normal thing in the strategy games high difficulty. Small increase of the base faction potential for all factions on all difficulty levels. I'm curious to see about this. But I think all factions, when you put Legend difficulty, should have between 400 and 500 potential. And not some faction really stuck in the low 300s. Because we want all factions to have maximum bonuses on the campaign map with the best access to troops. But this is not enough with just potential alone, because some factions have issues with this. Major example would be Tomb Kings and the Beastmen, how they unlock armies and units. They have to adjust those. They have to help those factions other ways. And for example, Warriors of Chaos having lots of armies, lots of Warband recruitment. But as the campaign progresses, that Warband recruitment does not increase in quality. So there's numerous ways to also improve variety of factions outside just adjusting this blanket change. Well, they're just gonna increase some sliders and think the game is gonna get improved. No, a lot of factions need more work. We need stronger factions recruiting more elite units, primarily like Bretonia, for example. We need Tomb Kings having access to more armies earlier, Beastmen having more access to more armies and Hearthstones. I'm talking about from the AI perspective. And as the campaign progresses, Warriors of Chaos should have access to higher quality Warband recruitment, not just quantity. The AI needs help in these areas. This is just not going to be enough. The way they do this, they're just going to make factions that build empires stronger. And this tend to be usually the Empire, the Dwarves, Kislev, High Elves, Grand Cat, Kate. They need other factions that don't play like this, also tweaked regarding armies and recruitment and higher quality.
Our cause is
But this is all good stuff, as long as it comes to that other stuff that's even more important than this stuff. Because what they're doing this, you know guys, we literally installed 2 mods, and what they're doing right now for the vanilla is exactly what those 2 mods I've been using, been doing. Whatever you've seen here is the game we've been playing already for months. This is not going to literally add anything to our game other than maybe making a vanilla experience better for people that want to use mods. Yeah, this could be just a bunch of fairy tales. They could introduce new issues, but what you see here, what they've written here, is literally what we've been experiencing and playing with lately in the game. Ever since that last Defenders campaign, after I've done over 200 hours of testing. Install that mod for the AI that I'm using, and install the natural selection mod that I've been using, and you get everything that they said here. If you get a little bit of experience, get some input from me, how to adjust it, and you literally get everything that is written here. And whatever they've written here is literally what those 2 mods providing. Literally the CA can implement those 2 mods their game, and best case scenario, we get what we've been having. I don't think it's gonna get any better than what we're having right now. So if you literally go to the mods, you install the ultra aggressive and smart AI, you literally get everything they've written and more. I don't think CA is gonna be able to beat this. Best case scenario, they use the same code as these guys have a script these guys done for the game. Hopefully not making the mod worse. And regarding potential, you have access to this. This should be part of the vanilla game, and this should be campaign customization. Just make it happen, and everything they've written there is gonna be all in the game. Now, what they've written here, all this is great, but we already have all this. We already have all this in the game with those 2 mods.
to follow strength.
Already we have all this in the game. We have fixed Warhammer 3, and we've been experiencing good campaigns again. And we can make campaigns unpredictable. We can make campaigns spicy, and we no longer need this vanilla fairy tales and fantasies they write. And questionable if they were going to be get fixed. All they need to do, make that mod part of the game, communicate with the modder, implement a natural selection, advanced campaign customization, and this game goes up 10% in ratings. And they don't even need to waste any hours with this nonsense. They just need to give us the tools to adjust this and implement this inside the campaign customization. How will this affect you in game? Major factions will conquer minor factions fast and survive longer, increasing the chance that they will be knocked out in the early game, and therefore resulting in more diplomatic interactions and battles with them for you during your playthrough. Also increase AI faction interactions across the board, further building on the tweaks the idle AI aggression above. That does pass the AI behaviors in general. This is hilarious, guys. This is hilarious. We've been playing this game for months. We've been playing this game for months, and I guarantee you they're not gonna make it better than the experience we have here. Regardless of borders or principal technical design, please keep in mind that you are reporting issues you encounter while playing on this beta branch that aren't related to campaign AI. Please use the 6.04 version, and please note that the use of mods with this beta can and will lead to unexpected results. Thanks for reading. Come back tomorrow when we update the blog with links and instructions on how to access the beta, and we'll submit your feedback. The moment I finish the Tyrion campaign, I'll be running some tests on this beta branch. But guys, trust me, this copious amounts of testing, numerous campaigns, everything they've written here, we already have in the game with those 2 mods. Everything that's here, it's already in the game. Without, you know, this might not even be in the game, just in the wall of text here. This is already all in the game.
Give me strength.
We've been playing with this for months in the form of mods. They should have fixed this already in the late 2023. This is only going to be a good thing if any and all improvements come for the people who don't want to use mods, who are reluctant to use mods. But you literally install the AI mode, you get a completely improved, different experience, greatly improved game. And if you want to add more variety to the outcomes instead of the game, you have the Unnatural Selection Ultimate, which should be part of the core game. And you can create hundreds of outcomes how the campaign will go, instead of their limited 6 to 12 outcomes. Everything is already available without them doing anything about it. And I hope they don't waste months of resources by messing with this when this is already available with the use of those 2 mods. Anyways, let's go back to the campaign.